everybody? Welcome to another week of jumping down the Reddit hole. And today is a review day, as in we are going to go through two different subreddits, I think. One is Amazon reviews and the other one is called I Didn't Have Eggs. Yeah, but anyway, two subreddits based on people reviewing things and leaving either really bad reviews or like really interesting or really stupid reviews, but entertaining nonetheless. Yeah, I have experience with that with my Etsy store. Oh my god, can I just vent? So my Etsy store, I am cozy, by the way, check it out, link in the description, whatever, I'm not here for that. But like, so the pains of me having an Etsy store that's growing very fast, now this isn't like a review that I received per se, but somebody that messaged me and I told them, I was like, hey, just a heads up that, you know, if you order the onesie, the kigurumi right now, it won't come in time for Halloween. And then they messaged me back, and I'm not even kidding, an hour later, saying, is it possible to arrive before Halloween? After I just said the thing, and I swear to God, people just refuse to read. What's the point in reaching out for customer service if you're not? Anyway, this is about reviews. It's not about customer service. Anyway, people are so stupid. I just get headaches. I just get headaches, man. I can't even take it. But anyway, let's jump right into it. If these reviews aren't good, man, I'm gonna leave a negative review in this video, let me tell you. Please don't actually, are you? So anyway, all right, so we're gonna start with the I Didn't Have Eggs subreddit, which is described as reviews by people who don't follow a recipe and then complain that it sucks. Drives me nuts. I like that the description, 96,000 people are in the subreddit. They're ruined potlucks. 1,000 houses currently on fire. Brenda says, this is bubbling and rising but tastes foul. I had a spoonful and then my husband did. He nearly vomited. There's no way I'm making bread with this. Please don't eat raw sourdough starter. It is intended to be baked with, not eaten as is. Also, it contains raw flour, which can cause food. I hate people. Oh my god. This was not a recipe for peach ice cream. I don't like peaches, so I substituted carrots. It wasn't very good. It needs more sweetness. Oh my god. And then they leave 3 stars! Like, bitch, that's your fault! Why you gotta put— oh my god, now that I started a business and I'm on the receiving end of like 3-star reviews that are just like, some people leave reviews and it's not even like anything I did, it's something stupid that they did, and it's so frustrating! It's so frustrating, people! Please don't do this to small businesses. Big businesses, who cares about those? But, well, I'm just a little baby. And I hate people like this. First time seeing one in the wild. Miss Churl. This was so bad. My 2-month-old infant had some and immediately began throwing up. It was so horrible that she needed to be rushed to the ER. Why are you feeding your 2-month-old pickled onions? I don't think it's the recipe's fault here. Oh my god. I can't. Sorry, but I tried this and it was awful. It was dry and the flavor, even if it wasn't dry, it wasn't good. A lot of the flavor issue could have been attributable to the sausage I chose. I did use Italian sausage and didn't vary from the recipe. It was disappointing. Hardly anyone, group of 17, tried it and I ended up dumping about 7/8 of the pan. I wanted to try to salvage, but knew I was kidding myself about anyone eating the leftovers. Sorry, I was just being honest. It calls for sage, not sausage. The herb, not the... Sorry, just being honest. Man, if I was leaving this reply, I'd be spitting. I love spitting words back at people that they use. Oh, gets under their skin. That's my favorite. I am deadly. I'm deadly like that. I would have been like, it calls for sage, not sausage. The herb, not the meat. Sorry. Just was being honest. I would have added that because I'm a bitch. Anyway, this did not taste like mulled wine cider. I tried to make this for 2-time servings with every single ingredient. There was way too much vinegar. I had acid reflux after drinking it and had to find a way to neutralize the taste because 4 cups of apple cider vinegar to 2 bottles of wine was absurd. All the other mulled wine recipes did not include apple cider vinegar. I don't know where I went wrong. The problem is that the recipe calls for apple cider, not apple cider vinegar. If you make it with apple cider, you know, the juice, drinking kind, it will be much, much, much better. I substituted tofu for the steak, corn pops for the potatoes, and used dandelions instead of jalapenos. It was awful. Never again. But he gave 5 stars? Wait, but it's a 5-star review. I'm so confused. What is going on? I highly recommend this recipe. For this, I replaced the mash with pastry. With the filling a little salty, I added chicken and mushroom and removed the fish mix and prawns. So you made a chicken and mushroom pie with pastry instead of a fish pie with mashed potatoes. Just amuses me that you've highly recommended this recipe after making something completely different. Okay. I gave this 1 star because it fails to mention, perhaps the author does not know, that xylitol is extremely toxic to dogs. It kills. There are many other sugar substitutes that might be used. Why would you give lemon drizzle cake to your dog? Substituted the pumpkin puree for apple cider vinegar and it tasted awful. Oh my god, those are so f***ing different. Aww. Hi, Phil. I definitely would not recommend using apple cider vinegar. So sorry you didn't enjoy this. Just to be clear, Phil, you gave this recipe a 1 star because you substituted vinegar in place of the pumpkin puree it calls for. No shit. No shit, Phil. This recipe doesn't tell me when to use chocolate chips. 1 out of 1,000, I would give this rating if I could. I don't know how this is supposed to be a chocolate chip cookie recipe. It doesn't say when to add chocolate chips and how many chips to add. And since when do chocolate chip cookies have peanut butter? This isn't a chocolate chip cookie recipe. This is a peanut butter cookie recipe. I thought that this subreddit would be really funny, but I just end up getting really infuriated that people are so dumb and they refuse to read. 95% of the world's problems can be solved by reading. All right, Kirsten, what do you got? We used Pepsi, so I'm not sure if that was why it was a bit too sweet, but I think we use regular soy sauce next time if I don't have Coke. There isn't any Coke or Pepsi in this recipe. I had this delicious omelet this morning. I seasoned the eggs with sugar, oil, and chocolate and threw in a little flour for texture. I noticed that there were no eggs in this recipe, so I added one. What a disappointment! The edges were baked, and the middle was completely mush, even after I put it back in the oven for 40 minutes. Oh, yeah. Hi, Jessica. Just curious, could I change the coconut and shredded cheddar cheese? Will it work flavor-wise? Coconut with shredded cheddar cheese. No, I don't recommend using cheese in this brownie recipe. I just read the rules here. Wait, why does number 5 say don't touch the poop? Oh. Oh, as in, like, don't interact with people whose reviews are posted here. Oh, yeah, okay. But why did you say don't touch the poop? I was so confused. Anyway, I didn't have potatoes, so I substituted rice. Didn't have paprika, so I used another spice. I didn't have tomato sauce, so I used tomato paste. A whole can, not a half can. I don't believe in waste. My friend gave me the recipe. She said you couldn't beat it. There must be something wrong with her. I couldn't even eat it. Wow, that was... That was beautiful. A weight for the garlic would have been more useful. Our homegrown garlic cloves are huge. 40 was way too many. Didn't really enjoy this dish. It's important to remember common sense is also an important ingredient when cooking. No, but like on Lonnie's part, I feel like I need to show you guys our cookbook that we have. There's a recipe that literally calls for 40 cloves of garlic. And I didn't really believe it until I like actually made the thing. I have to.
In the first age, in the first battle, when the shadows first lengthened, one stood.
Chicken with 40 cloves of garlic. So maybe Lonnie is referring to this. It is quite literally 40 cloves of garlic in this recipe. But you know what? It's very true that common sense is the most important ingredient when cooking or baking or anything or just living your life. Easy, sweet and easy corn on the cob. Have made it like this before. I like it. Leaving a 5-star to counteract the jerk that left a 1-star review because her husband's a diabetic. Reviewing recipes you can't eat and didn't make is a dick move. Get a life and quit making me do this. Oh my god. Shout out to that person. The original recipe called for buttermilk. What you have here is a woke recipe, not into woke. Just hand out the better tasting recipe. It is preferable to be awake while cooking. Also, you should not drink and bake. Frosting is non-partisan. I'm sure there's a recipe section on MAGA websites. If not, you should start your own. Oh my god. I have to say, I see the term, like, people just saying everything is woke. I see it everywhere, but I have to admit that I have never heard recipes being woke before, or like ingredients being woke before. That is definitely a new one. Because of course, yeah. I first tried it with water, not very good that way. Milk made all the difference. You definitely need some sort of milk for this golden milk recipe. What the? For safety reasons, please read this review. I made these for my 4 dogs that literally range in size from a toy Pomeranian to a Great Dane. Instead of doing a dog bone shape, I did a medium-sized cat shape. All 4 dogs loved these treats and went crazy for them. I mean, really crazy. In the chaos of getting these treats, my medium-sized rescue dog, swallowed one of these whole and got stuck in his esophagus. He was hospitalized and our vet bill was $1,000. I wanted to give these 5 stars because the dogs really loved them, but I want people to be aware of how much they love them. I would recommend making them small in size or tearing them into smaller bites when feeding them to your furry friends. It's been over a week and my dog is doing great, but he was really scary. I just wanted others to be aware that these treats may be too good. Sometimes I really wonder what goes through people's heads. First time I cook Asian recipe with alcohol. It already smells delicious. Hi, Jeff. This doesn't have any alcohol in it. We hope you enjoy it anyway. Good old Jeff. This came out terrible. It was dense, not fully baked, and had a sour taste to it. So disappointed. Lemon pound cake is dense and sour. I didn't cook it all the way. Carrots have way too much sugar, so I replaced them with shredded kale. Cake turned out rather nasty, so 2 stars. Unsure what went wrong, but it's too dry also. Mamma mia. We'd definitely recommend preparing this recipe as written, as the carrots provide much needed texture and moisture. I think my favorite part about these like bad reviews isn't the bad review because it's so infuriating how dumb people can be, but I love people's responses to the bad reviews. That is the best part. Like, why would you look at a carrot cake recipe and be like, you know what? No, I want a kale cake. And then I'm gonna leave you a 2-star review. Hi, X. This didn't work. Me and my husband are non-GMO gluten-free vegans and cannot use eggs, so I substituted this for mashed bananas and it just would not set. I followed all the instructions, so I think it may be my oven, unfortunately, that cannot maintain temperature. And in the end, it was really runny and tasted quite bitter. So not sure what happened, but I won't be trying this again. I'm sorry. What a waste. Hi. An extreme substitution like using mashed banana in place of egg for an egg custard tart is not always going to work. I'm sorry that it felt like a waste of time, but sometimes one just has to acknowledge that a banana isn't an egg, you know? One just has to acknowledge that a banana is not an egg. That's such a beautiful line. Looks delicious. Sadly, I can't cook very well, nor am I ready for the commitment marriage brain. What? So you're rating it 1 star even though you didn't try it and you're butthurt you're not married. And what does marriage have to do with it? My slow cooker doesn't have a 3-hour option for low setting. Please advise. Thank you so much. You will turn it onto any low setting and stop cooking it after 3 hours. Leslie's been going through it, okay? My 8-year-old son has been asking me for chocolate chip cookies forever, but to me it's unthinkable to make any recipe that calls for 1 cup of butter and 1 cup of sugar. Okay, I know this is America, but is there a way to make this without putting the child in a sugar fat coma? I could just leave the sugar out since chocolate chips have so much sugar in them, but what about the butter? How can I substitute it? Please don't say use oil. I've seen it in other recipes. Thank you. Oh my God, I will never forget not to call out my partner's mom, Dom's mom. One year for Christmas, she tried to edit her chocolate chip cookie recipe. She was trying to bake some cookies for us for Christmas, and she didn't want them to be as sweet. So she was like, all right, I'm gonna put half of the amount of sugar in these cookies this year, and they tasted like I was just eating paper. It was so bad. Thankfully, you know, we talked to her about it. I wouldn't be telling you this if I didn't talk to her about it. We talked to her, and we were like, yeah, so those cookies were ass. Please don't alter baking recipes. Baking is a science, okay? There is always the amount of sugar and butter and like flour or whatever, it's down to a science, okay? You do not adjust the science. It is there for a reason. Those cookies tasted so bad. Maybe I should leave a 1-star review. Anyway, no mention of corn in a Mexican crema recipe. Oh my God. Really poorly written recipe. No mention of corn. Do you cook the corn first? How much corn? That is a lot of cream. Is it for one recipe or to keep around? Do you just use crema? I'm totally confused. This recipe is for crema mexicana. Nowhere in this recipe does it call for corn, nor do I believe it's poorly written. Please read. I just want it to end it. Please read. Please read. So anyway, we're gonna move on over to Amazon reviews subreddit now. I think we've delved enough. I think I got the point of the food reviews. Yeah, I think we got it. Can you replace the spray when you run out? If you run out of pepper spray, you need to move to a different neighborhood. I can't believe this is a question. Can you replace the spray? Honey, you just gotta buy more. It works. My teeth are so white, they've started taking other people's land. Oh my God! I wasn't expecting this. What the f— What can you say about scissors? Why is someone asking this? They're scissors. You put one blade on either side of something you wish to cut, squeeze the handles together, and it cuts. Super sharp too. They cut almost as precisely as my father's comments about my— Oh my God, what the f— It's heavy! I sometimes receive documents in larger than your average letter size that are clearly labeled, "Do not bend!" My mailman seems to be either lazy or incompetent or both, and instead of leaving these documents on my doorstep or porch, because this would require getting out of my car, he bends and folds them, then stuffs them into my mailbox anyway, then often will crease important documents or photos. So, whenever this happens, I log on to Amazon and order a 50-pound bag of play sand. While it doesn't decrease my documents, it makes me feel a lot better about watching him deliver it. Oh my God. My wife stumbled upon this gem. Okay, listing. I love the form-fitting feel while hunting copperhead snakes. Forget the club, ladies. There's nothing better while hunting for them snakes. Wearing something form-fitting that simply hugs your body nicely. Free-flowing arm movement, spacious piece of bodywear. I would definitely recommend this product, hunting copperheads. Go, girls. Buy this. I was not expecting this. I would buy literally anything this woman reviews. No more bedhead. A real picture of a real person, not a glamorous young thing. I aspire to be this type of old lady. Causes too much pain and agony. Don't know why it's so popular nowadays. I'm just going to use toilet paper. No, that has to be fake. This has to be fake. People aren't that stupid, are they? This is fake. 55 gallons of lube. Yep, you can buy that. As almost too effective. As UPS discreetly unloaded my 55-gallon drum, the driver accidentally spilled it into my driveway. Any amount of cars can now fit into the garage. Why do they say for her? I'm a dude. I think a pretty classic manly one too. I carry a knife. I carry a knife, which makes me a very manly dude. I don't wear skinny anything. I own road flares and paper maps. What, bro, who are you trying to prove to here? Are you okay? And guess what? I dig a good candle in the wintry north. I don't get why candles are almost exclusively marketed to women. What do you mean Valentine's Day gift for her? This was a gift from me to me, and me is a he, and he has a hairy chest upon which many a beer have been spilled. Seriously, when it's freezing cold and the sun is hibernating and there's nothing like a good warm glow that eliminates my natural odor of farts and balls. The candles are even burning for long lasting, and I have a pleasant but not too foo-foo smell. What the fuck? Dude, this guy is compensating so hard. Not original, fake, poor product quality, poor service by seller, delivery time below expectation. This is a damn good subreddit. A bit small for me, but my bird loves it. It has become my cockatiel's favorite perch in the shower, and I will stay on any flat surface. It's a bit small for me, but I guess it's my bird's dildo now. Go get him, bird. I ordered this whenever I was drunk because I thought it was a giant ice cream. Beds should look like beds. I was drunk. That's so good. Finally found one in the wild. These saved my relationship. My girlfriend and I were on the verge of breaking up because I was constantly tracking mud into the apartment and ruining the floors. Not anymore. The traction on these boots is so strong that I was able to walk up the walls. The floors are clean and her nagging has stopped. Now all we fight about is her crippling alcoholism and my unhealthy obsession with Anna Kendrick. This is crazy. This is crazy. About how quickly would this freeze a large block of ice? Trick question. A large block of ice is already frozen. Oh my god. It's a winner. Even I could make it work, and I took the nicest picture of myself in 50 years. It's a trap. Not only does this beanbag completely consume you and keep you stuck in comfortable bliss all day, but there was another consequence we encountered. This beanbag traps farts. My husband sits here farting for hours, and the farts are absorbed into the beanbag, and you don't smell them again until you later sit down on the beanbag and the fumes are released. Pros, super comfortable. Cons, super comfortable, traps farts. Oh, this subreddit is great. So, like, where are the wolves? Beware, not a nature documentary. Oh my god, The Wolf of Wall Street. I figured with the title that it was a documentary about how urbanization is affecting wildlife, but no, it's about some scumbag that does a bunch of drugs on a boat and has a boat. Are these noisy? Do you hear the feathers moving when your head is on the pillow? No, the geese used are dead. Very efficient. Extremely good cutter. Cuts almost through anything, including skin, tendons, and flesh. Thumbs up for this product. Oh no. He tested it. Can I just say that I will be reordering them in every color. Here is me rolling and sliding down a mountain because I was too scared to get up. My leggings did not rip, not even a little bit, and I got stuck on rocks and trees. You know, that's a really good durability test. Like, okay, if I read that review, I'd be like, okay, I guess I'm buying these leggings. Like, you did a good job. Good lube. It's lube. Not much more to say. Sometimes I like covering my body in it and pretending to be a slug while sliding around in my bathroom. Graphic calculator. Do kids even have these in school anymore? What does it smell like? It smells like the tears of an English major trying to complete a math class. That's one of the best answers I've ever seen. 5 stars! I am the author, and I think I did a pretty good job! Well, you know what? I'm gonna give this video a 5-star review because I think I did a pretty good job. You see that segue? Wow, that was such a natural end of the video. I can't top that. That was great. Wow, this video was not even scripted. Actually, no, 10 out of 10. It absolutely was scripted. Don't let me or Tion tell you otherwise. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video today. I think I need more subreddits that have that are based on reviews. They're really, really funny. I liked this Amazon reviews more than I liked the food one. Make sure to read on the internet. That is the life lesson of the week. Or just not even just read on the internet. Just learn how to read. Learn how to read. Use your eyeballs, okay? Use your eyeballs, read, comprehension. Get used to it. Okay, bye. See you next week.